All right, so we're going to be working some of these ACT questions together. I'll have this video here if you find it useful, if you need some help with any of these problems. So this first one, it's imaginary numbers. And the thing you need to remember about imaginary numbers is that I is equal to the square root of -1. But the more important thing you need for this problem is that I squared is equal to -1. Okay, so this I squared is really a -1. All right, and that's almost all you need to know for this problem. So you've got, this fraction divided by this other fraction. And once you simplify this, I think you're going to be good to go for this problem. Okay. This next one, we've got what is the sum of the x and y coordinates for these 2 points? What is the sum of the x and y coordinates of its midpoint? So we need to find the midpoint between these two points here. All right, so if you recall the midpoint formula, what you do is you're going to add up the x's and then divide that by 2. All right, so 2 plus -2 divided by 2. And you're also going to add up the y values. So 9 plus -4. All right, so you're also going to do 9 plus -4 divided by 2. And this is actually the ordered pair. So whatever this comes out to is the midpoint between these 2 points. All right, so 10 plus -2 is equal to 8. And then 8 divided by 2, that'd be 4, comma. And then over here we got 9 plus -4 is equal to 5. And 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. All right, so I think that is going to help you answer this question. 4, 2.5. What is the sum of the x and y coordinates? Yep, that should do it, knowing that. Okay, question 3. You've got 6 people, and they have to decide who's going to be president, vice president, vice tank, and all that stuff. So basically you have 4 positions down here, but you have 6 people to fill those jobs, and they want to know how many different combinations can there be. So if you had to choose for president, for the choice of president, there are 6 possible people that they could do for that job. And then for vice president, well, you've already used one of those people for president. So now there's only 5 people left for vice. And for secretary, there's only 4 left. And for treasury, there's only 3 left. And then to determine how many possible combinations, you just multiply all those together. Now, I know there's an idea out there in probability. I can never remember the difference. This is either NCR or NPR, permutations and combinations. I can't remember which one applies to this situation, but if you want to look it up, that's out there. Okay, so in question 4, they give you this diagram and a bunch of information. Make sure you read that first. But the question is, which of the following statements is not justifiable from the given information or from the diagram? So I look for the easiest ones first. Option D, BCA and DCF, BCA and DCF. Those are definitely congruent to each other because of vertical angles. All right, so D is out. I know that that's justifiable. E says that triangle BAC is similar to DCF. So it's saying this triangle, BAC, is similar to DCF. And the reason I know that's true, well, all right, so first off, they have one angle in common, the vertical angles there. And then if you look at angle B here, that's a right angle. And if you look over here on D, Well, if this one's a right angle, then so is this one. And because you have two pairs of congruent angles, that must mean that angle A and angle F over here, that those are congruent as well. So because you have angle, 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 we know that those are similar to each other. All right. I'll look at one more here. AB, this is option A. AB is parallel to EF. So let me see why that's true. AB is parallel to EF. Now, what I'm looking at here is I'm going to look at alternate, would be exterior? No, it'd be alternate interior angles here. All right, so because angle B here is a right angle, and so is angle F, all right, they are on opposite sides of this transversal. So because those are on opposite sides of the transversal, that means, at least I'm pretty sure, I'm not a geometry teacher, I'm pretty sure that means that AB is parallel to EF. Okay, so we took care of A, D, and E. So I'll leave it up to you whether it's B or C. Okay, so on question 5, they want us to determine the value of x. All right, so you've got this 3.1358 times 10 to some power. And I backed out because I thought it was going to get noisy in here. So you've got that 3.1358 times 10 to some power is equal to this really small decimal right here. All right, so because it's a really small decimal, we know that the exponent has to be negative. We know that x has to be negative. So what you can do is just count how many spaces it is until you get that decimal over there in the right spot. And that will tell you what x is.